So the question must be asked, did you get on the spec train this week, or are you waiting for the next one? Stay tuned. Hey, how's it going? I'm Mikey, and this is Comics by the Cover. If you are new to the channel, first want to say thank you. I appreciate that you're able to find me. If you are returning to the channel, thank you. You're super awesome. You are the... I can't do this. You are the best. I really appreciate that you're coming back and visiting the channel and watching this video again. This is a weekly video if you are new to the channel. And what happens is every week, Key Collector puts out the trending 20 list. When they put out that list, then I do a poll on my Instagram which says, hey, are these books that people are interested in buying, or are these books that people are wanting to pass on? Occasionally, sometimes they come out split, which I always think is interesting. And then ComicTom puts out his video where he does a top 10 list based off the trending 20. Then I take those books that polled, I pulled together those top 10 books, and I put together this video as a response or reaction to ComicTom's video. We then take this list and we dig a little deeper, see if there's any opportunities that may come of this list of books that I might be interested in buying, and I just share my information with you as the viewer. So with that said, as always, coming in at number 10, we had Guardians of the Galaxy number 13. This book pulled as a 5248 buy, so this is a book that people are interested in wanting to purchase. This is a hot 1 in 50 ratio variant by Peach Momoko, so no surprise that this book hit the list. But whenever I see books that are ratio variants like this, I always ask myself, why was there a ratio variant? And usually it's because there is either something key that occurs in the issue, or it's a milestone or monumental issue. And in this case, it was more of a milestone issue, even though some minor key stuff does happen in this issue as well. So this is not just Guardians of the Galaxy number 13, but this is actually issue number 175 according to the legacy number. I will say that if this is a book that you are interested in buying, just go ahead and pick up the A cover. They did shake it up and bring in a new team. Marvel did hype this book up a little bit on marvel.com, so it might be a book of latter interest as the time persists with this book, I would say. Coming in at number 9, we had Captain America number 312. This pulled as a 5248 buy, so this is another book that people are interested in purchasing. There's a lot of buys on this list, I think, if I recall. So this book pulled because it was the first appearance of Flag Smasher, and Flag Smasher is a hit. A lot of people in the circles that I run into are really big fans of Carly Morgenthau as a character. And I'm not gonna lie, I love her. I do like her character a lot. I would like to see them potentially transfer over to Ricky Barnes and becoming this nomad character. So her only answer to get out of the crimes that she did is to step away from the role. But then I can see this martyr vibe happening. I can see this moment where Carly Morgenthau's name becomes a name that is passed down to other people, and then you might see this character be a Carl Morgenthau, and he may have been passed down that name from Carly as a martyr. So I would keep an eye out on this book. I wouldn't overpay for it, that's for sure. I think I bought this book $6 in a back bin when I found it. So I wouldn't overpay for this book. This book did pull previously, I will say. It pulled back in December as a 5842, and people were interested in buying it. Then people passed on the book in February. That's when there was some uncertainty about the character. So that pulled at 36.64, and then people had interest back into the character in the complete other direction as a 65.35 buy in March 27th of this year. And now that the Falcon and Winter Soldier series is about to wind down, this might be that moment where you really want to start to consider some of these other minor character appearances, such as Joaquin Torres. This book previously pulled issues 3 and 5, previously pulled here. They were buys, so this is a character people do have some interest in. He did make an appearance in the last episode, so you may see a resolution to his character in the next episode. So again, I would say you might want to revisit issues number Captain America Sam Wilson issue number 3. This was his first appearance as Joaquin Torres. Issue number 5, he appears on the cover for the first time as Falcon, and then in issue number 6, he actually appears as Falcon in the book. So one of those 3 books you might be interested in. I will say, I think number 6 is really cheap right now, so that might be a good option for you to pick up. Coming in at number 8 on the list, we have Wolverine Origins number 10. This book pulled a 60-40 buy, so people are interested in buying into Dakin. I have no doubts why, because it's another Wolverine character and people like characters that are tied to Wolverine. He started trending because this was some Falcon and Winter Soldier spec tied to a Madripoor map where people could put in some coordinates and they get some information on some of the cargo bins, I think, at the shipyard, and one of them had Dakin's name on it. I think he would be a great addition to the MCU. I think I can see Marvel wanting to hold off on doing Wolverine right away and hold off on pulling Laura Kinney in. Because those are already 2 established characters and they probably don't want to deal with that yet. But this is a great way to introduce that lineage into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, eventually building up potentially to Wolverine's character. And there was talk or speculation about the potential of doing a Wolverine series. If you aren't familiar with Dakin as a character, he does have strong ties to the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier killed his mother, Itsu. He does that in Wolverine number 40. In this issue, he confesses to Wolverine that he killed Itsu, who is the mother of Dakin. I will say, if you are looking to buy into Dakin's character, another character you might be interested in is Romulus, who makes his first appearance in Wolverine 55. After she dies, he comes in and takes the baby from her womb and he gives it to this family in Japan, if I recall, maybe Madripoor, somewhere in Asia. He gives the Dakin to this family to watch over, and then eventually, he comes back into the picture, and he becomes a pivotal character in Dakin's story arc for a little while. I will say they did talk about some of the other variants for this. I won't go deep into those, but some other issues that you may be interested in if you are wanting to buy into Dakin. You might be interested in Wolverine Origins number 5. This is for his first cameo appearance as a child. You may also be interested in Wolverine number 40, like we talked earlier, for when Winter Soldier kills or confesses to killing Itsu, who was Dakin's mother. So that might be a story arc issue that you might be interested in. I will say this is a 5-part story, so you might want to get that whole little story arc right there, potentially. There's also Wolverine Origins number 55. Again, this is the first appearance of Romulus. And then finally, this may all be leading or setting up the Weapon X program, which could be a lead way after the Super Soldier Serum program doesn't work. People might say, oh, maybe we'll start doing this Weapon X program, and then that might lead into Marvel Comics Presents Weapon X, which previously pulled as 7130, which is a book that people were interested in buying. So that might come back up again. Coming in at number 7 was Miss Marvel number 18. This book pulled a 7030 buy, so people are interested in wanting to pick this book up. This again is a Falcon and Winter Soldier spec book. This was again tied to the whole map and punching in coordinates into it, and then getting some cargo shipment container information. And one of them had Mystique's name on it. This should be a book that people are interested in anyways. I mean, if you see this book for a reasonable price, I would definitely get it. She has a lot of ties, of course, to Rogue, and people are really wanting to see Rogue come into the series, into the MCU rather, and into Captain Marvel 2. There's a lot of speculation around that. So this relationship between Mystique and Rogue is definitely a book that you may want to just look at picking up if you can find a reasonable copy for this. I actually won this. I won this book from that Spider-Man booth in a mystery box win. So if you're not familiar with that Spider-Man booth, you can buy mystery boxes. He does these Wild Wednesdays, and I bought something on that day, and I won this book. So, hey, in a 9-4 of all that. So look out for those mystery boxes. You may potentially be a winner as well. I'll put a link for that Spider-Man booth if you're interested in what to do about that in the description down below. Coming in next, we had Captain America number 25. This book pulled as an 8614 buy. This is a book that people are interested in as well. This is, of course, the first appearance of Sam Wilson as Captain America. This book previously pulled as a 7030 buy back in January of 2021. I did state last week that you probably will be seeing this book back on the trending list in the next week or two, and well, here it is. I stated that in last week's video, and it was on the dip. That's the only reason I talked about it then, because I noticed it was on the downtrend and it could be an easy pickup. I seriously watch the trendings of these books regularly. I usually use cover price just because I really like it as a method to track and monitor price sales. You can easily log, mind you, I pay for it, so I don't know what it's like for people who don't pay for it. So I'm only speaking from personal use experience of paying for the product. You can go in there, you can log in a book, you get these full sales trends information. They recently did an update, which I love. I highly recommend it. I'll put a link down below in the description of the video if you are interested and want to do that. I did have a promo code. It may or may not still be working, so you can check in on that by punching it in. If it doesn't work anymore, just let me know. Back to the list. That aside, I think this is the question I guess has to ask yourself: are we ready for a Black Captain America? And I think that answer is absolutely. We are so ready. I was reading the Captain America where Steve Rogers steps away from the role when John Walker comes in, and I read this panel and I was like, that is too funny. Because they were kind of going through the whole list of like people who could replace Captain America at that time before settling on John Walker, and I was like, that is so funny. It's just crazy how much time changes in comics, and of course in their world it's like nothing, but in our world it's 30-40 years. So anyways, since we were talking about cover price, I think this is a great time to do a cover price play on this book, because there were several issues where Sam Wilson donned the Captain America outfit. The first up was a book that previously pulled as a 65-35 buy. This was Captain America number 126. This is the first time he puts on the costume. In this scenario, he trades clothes with Steve Rogers for some reason. I can't remember why, but you can see these panels right here where he does that, and he takes it on for a few pages there. Next up was Captain America Sentinel of Liberty number 9. I can't remember who pointed this out, this book, so sorry for not giving credit, but feel free to tag me if you watch this video. I'll be happy to link to your video where if you talked about this book before. But this is the unofficial appearance of him as Captain America. He appears throughout pretty much the entire book. You can see several pages here that he appears as Captain America. Next up was Avengers number 35. This is the first appearance of him in costume on the cover. He doesn't really appear in the book, albeit just for a little bit of circle on the first page. I didn't see him anywhere else in the book when I was and I read through it a few times, and I still think I don't see him anywhere. I might be missing it. I might be overlooking it, but I know this book is credited with him as a first appearance in costume, but it's only on the cover. Next up is All New Captain America number 1. This cover A. There's a couple other variants for this book that I personally had interest in. One is the Alex Ross variant. I think the picture of Old Man Cap up in the corner just pays great tribute to the whole MCU stuff, so that might be a book that people are interested in. Plus it's Alex Ross, right? Who doesn't love an Alex Ross cover? Funny story though, when I was younger, I hated Alex Ross covers, but as I got older, I'm like, I love this. I started really loving painted covers in general. Next up is also the Pacelli variant. This is a 1 in 25 variant. This was a book that I was seeking out, and I found a great copy of this online, so I personally bought that book as well, just because Pacelli has just really been making a lot of name recognizability because of the Ultimate Fallout variant. So people are seeing Pacelli and they may see that and they may translate that to more desirability, because you do see that as a trend that sometimes occurs. Next up is Captain America Sam Wilson number 1. This is the second series of him as Captain America, but with his name actually, with Sam Wilson actually in the title versus the previous, which was just All New Captain America. These are two book series that I would be watching very closely. I think these are two books that are going to be trending in the next week or two, based on the fact that Captain Marvel's solo series had trended after her reveal and so forth. So you may see that again with these books and Sam Wilson. So that was your cover price play and trending play there to see how those books pulled. Again, if you are not familiar with cover price, it is a fantastic tool that you can use to not only track your collection, which I just recently plugged in my slabs into it. I kind of removed everything. I had a bunch of stuff in there, then I removed everything as I just wanted to price out my slabs only. And wow, I was surprised about the price on that. So maybe I'll make a video about that. And the other great thing about it is I think they did a fantastic job of putting a lot of the trends together. You can really see how a lot of these different books sold recently on eBay or online. So they did a good job of tracking those trends there. And you get a lot of deeper detail than what you would Key Collector. I do love Key Collector as an app as well, but I do like when it comes down to market trend and analysis, that Cover Price does a fantastic job with actually being able to delve into it. I also use GPA analysis as another resource, and anyways, so that is number 6. Coming in at number 5 was Black Panther number 1. This book pulled as an 83.17 buy. This is a book that people are interested in wanting to purchase as well. I talked about this book a couple weeks ago on April 5th video, if I recall. This is because Black Panther #4 was polling, and I said, you may see interest in AO and Ultimates, and you may see interest in with that book wound up trending, and then you may see interest in Black Panther #1 for the Dora Milaje, and I picked up a couple books at that time for about $15, and I think these are now selling for around $40 to $50 on average right now. With it recently appearing in the video, you may see it pop back up again a little bit higher. I think Dora Milaje is a great option for you if you're looking to purchase into these characters. I think this one gives you the first ones of Koye and Nakai, if I recall. The other thing about this book is there is a variant that you might be interested in. I didn't know this one existed. I do like this variant a lot. I also say if you also like the Dora Milaje, you may be interested in Black Panther #6. This is from, I don't remember what year run, but this is just a really cool cover appearance that I picked up for like $3 in a back bin. I just thought it was a really pretty cover. I like that blue screen color. This is the moment where we have to say spoilers.
Spoilers? What spoilers?
So now that we got our spoilers announcement out of the way, coming in at #4 was Strange Tales #159. This book initially polled as a 2971 pass. Now, mind you, again, this poll started prior to the episode airing. So I think this is vastly changed since then. If I looked up the prices on this, this is no longer as cheap as it once was. It's quickly shot up. But this was the first appearance of, do I dare try to say this? Contessa. What is it? Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine. Is that right? Contessa. Is that right? Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine. I think that's right. If I'm wrong, you can tell me later. But this is of course was a Falcon and Winter Soldier spec book where she makes an appearance. So of course the book trended. ComicTom pointed out a fantastic point about this. She does take on, or Mystique rather takes on the appearance of the Contessa in the early appearance. So might this be a hint at Mystique as well? I did notice the blue streaks in her hair. I know typically she has white streaks, and I know sometimes you see her with blue in her hair in the comics, but that's usually because that's just a shading to black is what you see oftentimes in older books. But you do see those blue streaks, and maybe that might be a hint at Mystique. Is this another Mephisto scenario? I do say that you might be interested also in Secret Warriors #6. This book is probably going to start trending as well. And if you, again, this is a fantastic, as soon as I started putting together this video and I found this book, I popped up on Key Collector. Again, if you aren't downloading Key Collector, it's a fantastic app. Again, it's really cheap. I don't see when people do the free version. I get it. I pay for it, but it's such a cheap app to get for all this super great information, and you're going to stay up to date on your alerts as soon as they drop when you're a subscriber. I'm not sure how it works if you're not a subscriber. So if it works the same when you're not a subscriber, then great. But I personally like to invest into things that I like to use and support companies that I like to use. But in this, she is revealed to be Madame Hydra, so that's going to be a book that's probably going to be trending in the next week or two. These next three books I don't have a lot to say about. So coming in at #3 was Lando. #2, this book pulled a 3367 pass. It was the first appearance of Chanath Cha. Again, Star Wars specs continues to trend up. I think you're going to see a lot of Star Wars spec books trending in the latter half of the year as we get closer to the book of Boba. Then, of course, we saw Starlight #1. This came in at #2. This book pulled a 1981 pass. People were passing on this book. This book was optioned for development. This is just another Mark Millar book that is made it to option. If you again, you have to wait for the development process kind of go through. I will say I would be more focused on those books that are specifically tied to the Netflix stuff. And of course, again, I made a video about that, and we talked about that previously in other videos of the ones that I think I would be most interested in watching. And then there's one book that's not them. Finally, coming in at #1 was Joker #2. This book pulled a 3367 pass, which I was very surprised based on the price that this book has been selling for. This was the first appearance of Vengeance, first cover appearance of Vengeance. 1 in 50 variant ratio. This is it. This is the new golden path for comic books to sell more books. If they continue to have these first appearances on variant ratios and on the cover, I think this is a great way for comic companies to sell more of these books, because people are going to potentially order more of these books to get that chase cover, that variant cover. So that's scary, and that scares me. That really does. The last thing I will say about this of course, if you are interested in buying the first print of Avengers, just go. I'm not going to spend the kind of money that this book is going for right now. I'm not buying into the character enough. I like Bane, but he's obviously joked on in the Harley Quinn series, and I'm not a big DC person, so maybe I know he had the City of Bane stuff recently for Batman. I did read that. I did enjoy that, but he's kind of a joke character for a lot of people, so we'll see. But Joker number 2, get that regular A cover at least, right? With that said, hold up, let's give you a bonus book, because I just remembered. Shang Chi's trailer dropped today, or that I'm recording this video, and wow, it looks so good. I'm a huge fan of these kung fu movies, and like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and this type of movie. So I'm super excited about this movie. So for a bonus books for speculation, I will say you might want to look into Master Kung Fu number 26. This is the first appearance of the Cursed Lotus. I'll put a picture right here of the character. And if you watch the trailer, you will probably know why. But her name is Fa Lo Sui. And she is the daughter of Fu Manchu, but she may also translate as being some relation into that character as we go into this movie. So that might be a book that you might see trending in the next few weeks as well. I think the speculation is going towards this character for that appearance. With that said, as always, thank you for watching, and bye!